Today on Fresno State Focus, Victor E. Bulldog celebrated his first birthday this weekend.
Also, find out which BMX professional is riding big for the Fresno community.
Plus, Fresno is dancing and flipping its way into 6 different continents. Fresno State Focus starts now. Hello and welcome to Fresno State Focus. I'm Justin Ballinger.
And I'm Brandon Goutier. The time has come for Fresno State students to cast their vote for the newest members of Fresno State student government. Voting for this year's ASI candidates opened yesterday. Students can vote online or they can go to the voting polls located outside the Kennel Bookstore. ASI Election Commissioner Alden A. Williams says it's more important than ever for students to participate in the elections.
It's really important for students to vote because without that vote, then you don't really know who's going to be speaking on your behalf. So you want to make sure that you're voting in the right person to speak for you.
Voting closes this Thursday at noon. Students who vote are thanked for their participation with a free bag of Skittles. Joining us now are the senatorial candidates for the College of Arts and Humanities, Kaylee Hunt and Daniel Townsend. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
So what made both of you decide to run for ASI Senate? And let's start with Kaylee first on this one.
So I wanted to get more involved on campus, and I knew elections were coming up, and I'm personally a double major. I'm broadcast journalism and philosophy pre-law, so I thought that would really go well with being the Senator of Arts and Humanities.
And for you, Daniel?
For me, this would be my third and final term in the position. I've served for the last 2 years, and so it's just kind of like bringing together all the goals I've had over the last few years. I have a good relationship with our new dean and associate dean, and seeing those goals come to life would be great. Yeah.
So why do you believe that both of you are qualified for ASI Senate? And on this one, let's start with Daniel.
I think my last 2 years in the position qualifies me, as well as a lot of the things I'm involved in on campus. Other than ASI, they include campus involvement ambassadors, the Fresno State Sustainability Project, and several other things. Yeah.
Kaylee?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm a double major in this college, and I also was a Dog Days orientation leader, so I was really involved with getting new students on campus and just getting their majors out and just getting excited really about being a Bulldog.
So what would you two say are the most pressing issues for the upcoming semester? And on this one, let's start with Kaylee once again.
So the past couple elections, voter turnout has been 9 to 11%. That's really low. I know more than 1 in 10 students has a voice and has something to say. So I guess that would be a huge goal I would work towards, is just to get more students more involved with clubs, organizations, and just being happy they're a Bulldog.
And for you, Daniel?
I would definitely second what Kaylee said about getting more students involved on campus. Other than that, just funding for all of the programs for, within the College of Arts and Humanities, and campus impaction with all of the students that are in classes and trying to graduate. So student success is definitely a big goal within our college.
So Daniel, where can people go in order to vote for it? It's just out in the Kennel Bookstore, and do they have to use like certain electronics to go ahead and do it?
The ballots are paper ballots in front of the Kennel Bookstore on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and they can also go on their Fresno State email and get a link you can get a link on your Fresno State email to vote. Yeah.
And what about you, Kaylee? Do you have anything else to add, like a final statement for the both of you that you can go ahead and say to our audience here today?
Yeah, I just really encourage everyone to vote. Like I said earlier, voter turnout is 9%. That's really low. And I know more than 1 in 10 people has something important to say. Everyone has a voice, and we all pay to go to Fresno State. So let's make the most of it. Let's get involved, be bold, be brave, and just let's represent. So yeah.
And Daniel?
Definitely. You know, our university is for all of us, and the point of ASI is students serving students, and we can't have that if not everyone is getting out and vote. Like Kaylee said, we have 23,000 students here, so everyone has a voice. Come out and vote and have your voice heard.
And we have been talking with Kaylee Hunt and Daniel Townsend, the ASI senatorial candidates for Fresno State this year. The best of luck to both of you. And voting ends tomorrow at noon, and the winners will be announced at 2 p.m.
In an effort to help students who are close to graduating, the Provost is offering to help pay for summer school. The Provost Graduation Initiative will give up to $1,200 to students. That money will help pay for classes during May-June intersession or summer session. Continuing in Global Education Dean Scott Moore says there are specific requirements for students to qualify for the money.
Look at the qualification criteria, and even if you think you're on the borderline of qualifying, apply. Let us take a look at your application and see if there's something that we can do to help you.
The graduation initiative came from the Provost's office. Provost Zelezny wanted to give students an opportunity to take classes over the summer so that they would be able to graduate on time. The deadline to apply is April 1st.
Roosevelt High School hosted a fashion show exhibition last week. Let's go to Alejandro Leon for that and more in entertainment news.
Thanks, Brandon. Fashion and glamour doesn't only exist on runways in New York or Paris. Fresno City Hall held the second fashion show exhibition last week. Johnny Bear coordinated the event. Roosevelt High School students designed and modeled the clothes. The judges selected Roosevelt senior Esmeralda Valdivia to participate at the event as a model.
Help me in the future for the fact that I actually want to go into modeling. So I see that as a future for me.
Esmeralda hopes the fashion show exhibition will help her gain experience and open doors to fashion. Fashion design teacher Johnny Vera says giving students the opportunity to design and model clothing helps them gain confidence and build character. The next fashion show BIP will be March 31st. Music and opera, they go well together like peanut butter and jelly. It's the perfect combination for Fresno State student whose passion for music and opera has put her in a leading role in a play.
This children's opera is based on a Mexican folk tale named Lucinda y las Flores de la Nochebuena. The opera is an opportunity for vocal student Alejandra Tejeda to play the main character. Her voice and her passion for music has put her in a play that connects with her Mexican roots, something her parents are helping her discover.
And I was born here, you know, but I'm asking them more now how like the heritage is over there, because like of course like they brought me like up with the whole like Mexican heritage, but you know like there's some Americanism still in me.
Tejeda started singing at church when she was 5 years old. Since then, she has been involved in different plays. Director Anthony Radford says Lucinda will be different because Tejeda gives life to a little girl.
Lucinda, she's a small girl in a Mexican town, and she's working with her mother to make a blanket for the Christmas Eve service at her church. And her mother's very, very sick.
Ballet children will be participating by making flowers for the performance and actually taking part in singing in the opera.
Radford wants to get as many children involved as possible, and he's hoping parents will take their children to see the opera at any one of the many venues to introduce them to this genre.
The message that we're trying to get across is that it doesn't matter who you are or what you have to give, as long as you give what you can, and it doesn't matter the size of the gift. And I think that's an important message for children to be receiving.
Edgardo Olivares is playing Lucinda's sick mother. He says this is an opportunity that doesn't come often.
A lot of children don't have families who can provide the kind of finances that often you see attached to musical events like opera.
Tejeda and the rest of the team are busy preparing for the big event. Director says he expects to blow the audience away with the amazing story with a special message for children. The children's opera will be performed at the beginning of the holiday season. Kids, students, and staff got together to celebrate Victory Bulldog's first birthday on Saturday. The Bulldog mascot welcomed everyone to the party with the kids. The celebration was full of entertainment with a dog show, food, and music for guests to enjoy. The Fresno State band put on the final touch when he played while Victory enjoyed a bite of his cake. It's Jacqueline Young's job to take care of the four-legged celebrity.
We had weeks of training with Melody's professional dog training, and it was the knocking down the barricades that he did in his little performance, practicing his shaking and his waving and stuff like that.
Victory enjoyed a real dog party with his friends. Young says he had his relaxation day before the big celebration. Kids were able to interact and take pictures with the Fresno State mascot. That's it for entertainment news. Now back to Brandon and Justin.
Coming up on Fresno State Focus, find out what small town is making a positive impact on its youth. Also, Naomi from Bulldogs in the Kitchen is back and will be cooking something delicious for us.
Plus, a former BMX rider has spread his love for biking. All that and more when we come back.
Success. At Fresno State, it's no secret. It's discovering new ways to change our world. It's creating opportunities as diverse as our community itself. It's in the distinction of our graduates as they lead us into the future. Success is no secret at Fresno State. It's our mission.
This is our Fresno State, forming relationships and learning experiences that last a lifetime, making friends who are like family, learning from professors who treat us like family, and earning a degree to make a better future for our family. Engaging our alumni generation by generation by generation. This is our Fresno State. Welcome to the family.
Good evening, everybody. Hope your Wednesday night is going great. Let's take a look at your weather, but first we're going to start out in the Midwest. So thanks to a change in jet stream, the Midwest is actually getting hit with a storm right now. They have been experiencing higher temperatures than normal. So this system that's coming through will bring lower temperatures as well as a little bit of precipitation and possibly even some snow. And so switching gears to California now, as a high pressure system has covered most of California, so you can see it's pretty clear now. You'll experience some clear skies, higher temperatures, and clear skies into your weekend. So looking over into the coast up here though, low pressure system is building just under Alaska that will come down into our next week and possibly bring low temperatures, even some precipitation as well, so don't put those umbrellas away just yet. And looking into our air quality, San Joaquin is good, Fresno is moderate, and Madera County is good as well. Now going on to our forecast for today, the high is 71, winds out of the southeast at 7 miles an hour with 60% humidity. And let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. Like I said, high today is 71, high tomorrow's going to be 76, and it's going to keep getting hotter and hotter into your weekend, all the way up into the high 70s. But then the low pressure system is going to start coming in, and like I said, it will bring that chance of rain on Monday, so don't put those umbrellas away just yet. But we will be back to sun on Tuesday, high in 60s. And for everybody who's traveling to Denver tomorrow for the big game, you will have a mostly sunny day, but don't forget your jacket, as the high will only be 52 in Denver tomorrow. So make sure you bring a jacket, and go Dogs. Now back to Justin and Brandon with more news.
Thank you, Johnny. One small town west of Fresno is scoring big with its new youth soccer program. Our reporter Cecilia Murillo has the story.
City of San Joaquin, California.
This park in the small town of San Joaquin sat empty for many years. Of the 1,400 kids between the ages of 2 and 14 that live here, only 200 were involved in sports. 1,200 were doing nothing.
If you have a kid that is 4 years old, 5 years old, and then you have a neighbor that is 14 years old doing nothing, your child is going to think that it's normal to be 14-year-old and not do anything, just stay at home.
11, 12, 13. Marcos Ramirez decided to do something about it. He started the San Joaquin Youth Soccer League so kids here would have a place to go where they would feel welcome.
I asked people around about the program, what it would take to make a program like this, and they said it's going to take a lot of work, it's going to take a lot of time, and it's going to take a lot of money. But my love to the community, this community, none of that matter.
Ramirez involves kids in the league as young as 2. Abraham Berber is one of the volunteer coaches and grew up in San Joaquin. Coaching was a way for him to give kids the opportunity he didn't have as a child.
Right now, I thought it wasn't going to be this big, but now that we came up with this, it's big. We have a lot of kids joining, and we have to divide them into different teams because we can't fit them.
A league like this needs money for equipment. Coaches and athletes fundraised and held snack bars on game days to help pay for the program.
The San Joaquin Youth Soccer League has been so successful that it's brought families from surrounding communities to participate in the program. I guess it's safe to say that the soccer fever in this town is very contagious.
It could have something to do with Ramirez's all-star team. Towards the end of the fall season, coaches picked their top 5 to play higher leagues around the valley. Carolina Esquivel is one of the all-stars. She's played soccer since she was 6. The program is helping her achieve her dreams.
Yes, I do want to be a soccer player when I grow up. The soccer league did get me a step closer, like from all the support that they gave me.
Ramirez knew that a small town made of mostly Hispanic farm workers offered little chance for kids to get recognized. Ramirez has changed that and is getting these kids the recognition they deserve. Cecilia Murillo, Fresno State Focus.
It isn't always easy to make good food choices when you're a college student, but Naomi Jimenez with Bulldog in the Kitchen is back with us and ready to help us. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So can you talk a little bit about what Bulldogs in the Kitchen is?
Yes, Bulldogs in the Kitchen is a program that helps athletes learn how to cook healthy meals and learn about the importance of nutrition in order to help sustain their athletic performance.
So can you talk about how that's beneficial towards athletes?
Towards athletes, well, it's important. Nutrition affects the way we think, the way we move, the way we feel. So, I mean, overall, that's a good picture of how important it is to eat nutritious foods that will, help them think and focus on what they need to do to be the best Bulldog out there.
And how did you guys come up with this idea?
Well, in the dietetics program, we're always we focus on the students and how we can just improve and spread overall awareness of the importance of nutrition. And so athletes are athletes are very important on campus, so that was where we started with.
Okay, so can you talk about what we have here?
Yes, we are going to be making an eggplant pizza bite. So I was thinking of just an alternative way of making pizza. A lot of students enjoy pizza, so this is just a fast, easy, and affordable recipe for anyone to make.
Okay, and can you kind of put it together for us? Show
Yes.
us how to create this masterpiece?
Well, first of all, you're going to want to gather your ingredients, and these are already pre-chopped. As you can tell, there's not a lot of ingredients for this recipe. I started by taking a large eggplant and making rounds out of them. We're going to start by you'll take a flat of pan, and you'll spray it with some cooking spray. And thereafter, you're going to lay all these eggplant rounds on there. You're going to bake these for about 20 minutes. And you don't have to add, you can spray these on the top to just give them a little bit more browning.
Okay.
You can add a little bit of sea salt, but you don't need to. I didn't add any onto these. So you'll bake them in the oven for 20 minutes. Like I said, you just want to wait until they're a little bit browned. Once they're done, you're going to take some tomato sauce and you're going to spread the tops of these. So you'll do that with each of your eggplant rounds. And then you're going to take some mozzarella cheese. And I have mushrooms and green onions. I even have cilantro on here and tomatoes because these are what we got on the first quality produce box.
Okay.
But you can take whatever toppings you like. It's whatever you enjoy.
Okay.
And so you'll just lay these on there like you would prepare a pizza. Spread them on there. And then you're going to put it in the oven, in the broiler actually. You're going to broil these for about 1 to 2 minutes just until the cheese melts.
Okay.
And that's it.
So I've been told I get the opportunity of
Yes,
trying
you
this,
do.
yeah?
Yes, you do. You let us know how you like that.
Okay. Well, Bulldogs, here we go.
Like I said, I choose ingredients that are affordable, convenient, and just very fast to make. What do you think?
I definitely need to make this at home.
Right?
And now you guys understand the recipe. That's eggplant pizza bites. Thank you, Naomi, and thanks to the First Quality Produce for providing the vegetables that were used in today's recipe. Now, back to Brandon.
Thank you, Justin. A former professional BMX athlete is changing the lives of the youth in our community. Tony Hoffman was a professional BMX athlete and participated at the Olympic level for 2 years. Now, he uses his passion for action sports to connect with young kids in the community. For him, helping these kids in the community is very important. Hoffman doesn't want them to make the same mistakes he made when his career was taking off.
When I was a young kid and I made those choices, I didn't necessarily think the choices through and see that they could end up where I did end up with the substance abuse issue, going into a home with a gun and robbing somebody for prescription pills, and being homeless, strung out on drugs, and losing my family and losing my friends and all of this stuff, and finally going to prison.
Hoffman founded the Freewheel Project in 2011. This program not only offers these kids the opportunity to practice BMX and earn a brand new bike, but also gives after-school tutoring. Tony's main goal is to make these kids understand how important and significant the choices they make today can affect their lives tomorrow.
One of Fresno's hidden gems has become a global phenomenon. Gymnastics mixed with dance is their way of changing lives. Break the Barrier started in Fresno 30 years ago, but now has become something that has made its way to 6 different continents. They consider themselves missionaries because every time they're on the road, their goal is to spread awareness.
We have an international ability center. We call it Ability Center because everybody's welcome, from age newborn through senior citizens with various abilities.
Accepting and expecting are 2 things in which Hergen Raider prides break the barriers upon. Accepting all abilities to come in and expecting them to surprise you. And that's exactly what they do with their spectacular show, bodies flying everywhere, double flipping and twisting incorporated with dance. Recently, Break the Barrier celebrated their 30th year anniversary performance with a halftime show at Fresno State's men and women's basketball games. Various abilities are something in which each person has. It just takes some searching to find out what exactly yours is. For more information on how you can help donate or watch a performance, go to breakthebarriers.org.
Coming up in sports,
we look at the game that took the Dogs to the NCAA tournament. Also, how one woman is changing the way the game of tennis is played.
Plus, how one man's passion for wrestling is making change in his community. Stay tuned for sports with Alex Macias.
I got the bulldog spirit up in my head.
Up in my head.
Up in my head.
I got that bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Up in my head to say. I got that bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart. Got that bulldog spirit. Deep in my heart. Deep in my heart to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit. Down in my toes. Hey. Down in my toes to stay. I got that bulldog spirit. Up in my head. Deep in my heart. Down in my toes. I got that bulldog spirit. All over me. All over me to stay. I got that bulldog spirit.
Deep in my heart.
Deep in my heart. Deep.
The Dogs are going dancing. Fresno State took on San Diego State this past weekend in what seemed like a boxing match with each team trading blows. A trip to the NCAA tournament was on the line. Fresno State played San Diego State really close all night long. Once the Dogs took the lead, they never looked back, as the Dogs' defense proved too much in the end. The Bulldogs beat the Aztecs 68-63 to win their first Mountain West Tournament championship in school history. Now the Dogs get to dance for the first time since 2001. Fresno State will play tomorrow against the University of Utah at 4:30. All right, now transitioning from the college game to high school basketball, let's look back at what was a big night for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. The Riders started the game slow, but as usual, senior center Bryson Williams took over the game, never looking back. Williams finished the game with a double-double, scoring 29 points and cleaning glass with 23 rebounds, giving the Roosevelt Rough Riders their first Valley basketball championship in 39 years. Joining us today is Roosevelt High School basketball coach Jamar Chisholm and senior center Bryson Williams. Thank you for being here, guys.
No problem. Thanks for having us.
Coach, can you tell me what was your guys' mindset going into the playoffs and championship game?
Well, our mindset was just to try to win the Valley. I mean, it was a goal we set earlier in the year. It made it even that more special that we owed Selma one because they beat us by one in double overtime early. But our mindset was the same coming in to camp early April. It's just setting that goal to be Valley champs.
Bryson, what was it like for you to finally get the title that escaped you 2 years ago?
Oh man, it was very exciting. It was very great. Just being able to come back to Selma Arena, our mission, and just be able to complete it.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, how were you able to lead this team to a championship with only 3 returning players and being in your second year?
Well, my 3 returning players are just great leaders. They were all seniors. It's something we talked about the first year we got to Roosevelt is trying to have great senior leadership, and that's something that I pulled Bryson, Justin, and Antonio to the side early this year and told them that, you know, we're only going to be as good as you 3 seniors take us.
Bryson, what's your most best aspect of your game that you believe propelled you to winning this championship?
I mean, there was a lot of aspects of my game that led us to the championship, but I feel like just my overall leadership of the team and just being able to tell guys what's going on and what we need to do and just being able to be a leader on the court led us to the championship.
Well, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having us.
Yep.
Thank you.
Sports and activities can bring a community together. A wrestling academy at Fresno High School is helping kids stay away from gangs and violence.
Find just a safe place just to learn about different aspects, not just about wrestling.
Sometimes kids fall into bad habits. Guillermo Villarreal is a Roosevelt graduate. He grew up on the south side of Fresno where gangs and violence were a way of life. He knows how rough the streets of Fresno can be.
The early 90s, obviously in the 90s, was a little more rougher. So I think you had to make decisions, especially when you came to Roosevelt, you know, what you're going to do.
Villarreal wanted a place where kids could go for stability and life lessons. He started Fresno Beat the Streets Wrestling Academy.
Find just a safe place just to learn about different aspects, not just about wrestling, but about life, you know, and hopefully give them a place to go, a place to be at.
Villarreal's message is clear. Help these kids out in this community, give them a place where they can be safe, learn how to defend themselves, and thrive in life.
Brian Serta is a father of 12. He says he fell into bad habits growing up and did things he isn't proud of. He wants his kids to take a different path, and wrestling is helping them do that.
For these kids that come from certain areas that there's not a lot of money in these areas, and he opens up these doors for these children. So in my book, I think he's a real good guy, you know.
Serta's son is out here to support his brothers in Villarreal, who gave him a gift that cannot be replaced. Villarreal gave him time in the gym.
He allowed me to go train at McLean. I got free mat time, I mean tons of mat time because of that man. I mean, he's helped me out, kept me in a wrestling room, constantly going. I mean, without him opening up those doors, I wouldn't have somewhere to train.
Villarreal says it all starts by helping kids stay off the streets and teaching lessons that begin with one wrestling mat at a time. Fresno Beat the Streets is free. They meet Wednesday nights from 5 to 7 at Roosevelt High School.
This Friday, Fresno State Focus will air a special program, the Global News Relay.
Join us on CMAC TV as we host 12 universities around the world in a joint newscast that focuses on sports in your community.
Then, in 2 weeks on Fresno State Focus, parking at Doghouse Grill is a mess. Find out whether something is being done to help.
From the team at Fresno State Focus, thank you for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks.